Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
We've got a great week ahead. It is spring game week across the University of Oregon Athletic Department. Oregon football wrapping up their second scrimmage of the spring on Saturday, and then the spring game coming your way at 1 o'clock this Saturday. I am really looking forward to a big baseball series this weekend as well. Oregon softball took care of business this past weekend. Now they're on the road again for a matchup on Thursday in Stockton against Pacific. Then in Berkeley this weekend, Duck softball's won 9 in a row. Men's tennis with a win on Senior Day. Oregon baseball a win on the road, and it sets up 2 midweek games against Gonzaga Tuesday and Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And then don't look now, but Arizona State is a couple games ahead of Oregon baseball in the Pac-12 standings, and Arizona State is the opponent beginning Friday at 5 o'clock. The weather forecast is in the 80s. Friday and Saturday, it looks beautiful for Duck baseball and for the spring game. You knew it was going to be a nice day for the spring game. It always is. Really looking forward to it. We're going to review it all. Dan Lanning, Demetrius Martin, Justin Jacobs, and Dante Manning all talked with the media after practice on Saturday. A shout-out to the Quack Video crew. A lot was going on Saturday. Still got all the interviews while I was honestly on the road in Berkeley, and I was keeping track of everything during commercial breaks of our broadcast at Cal. So thanks to the Quack Video crew. Oregon baseball, though, that was a good series win. Duck softball with a series sweep. Going to hear from Coach Lombardi coming up in a little while as well. And then some news on tennis, lacrosse, and a few others from the weekend. Without, though, any further ado, why don't we get into Dan Lanning, the Oregon football head coach. He met with the media on Saturday. His thoughts on the second scrimmage for the Ducks on Saturday, and heading into the spring game, I think there's a lot of excitement for that 1 o'clock kickoff at Autzen Stadium. Again, free admission with a donation of non-perishable food items that will benefit Food for Lane County. We will have a 1 o'clock broadcast for the spring game across the Oregon Sports Network ahead of the 3 o'clock baseball game on Saturday. And Dan Lanning is always brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Fight like a duck with exceptional cancer care close to home. Dan Lanning meeting with the media Saturday.
All right, great competition today. A lot of good situational football. We started off tackle. At the beginning, guys were able to stay relatively healthy, which is always good, but you got to get that physical contact to be able to play ball. Really did a good job early with the offense, moving the ball down the field and trying to punch being able to punch it in and get some early scores. And then kind of came back with the defense and third down and some of the situational football at the end. Different from last scrimmage, we actually had more takeaways in this scrimmage. Got to do a better job of protecting the ball offensively, and then got to continue to do a good job of attacking it defensively. So can't get too excited or too upset either way there, but obviously some things to improve on. Saw a lot of young guys able to step up. I think we got a lot of good reps. One of probably our higher rep count scrimmages, but good for us to be able to see a lot of guys play.
Do you care to share who produced some of those takeaways?
No. Had a lot of good guys, had good reps today. I probably couldn't name them all. I mean, there was not a considerable amount of takeaways, but there was a bunch of guys attacking the ball today, which is great to see.
What did you see out of Bucky and Noah today and throughout the rest of the spring camp so far?
Yeah, I just think it's always fun for running backs, especially when it becomes tackle, right? Because you're not going down on a thud anymore, right? And they're able to break some tackles, create some positive plays. The other thing that we've been able to do with those guys is move them in and out of the backfield a little bit. They both catch the ball well, but seeing them line up in different positions and execute is good to see.
Like your guys have done pre-snap penalties, pre-snap mistakes.
I think we can be better there. Yeah, I think we can be better there. Good at times, poor at times, right? It's when you try to have variations and change the way you do things, that's when you see probably more of those penalties show up offensively and defensively. The key is that you want to have some change-ups. You want to be able to change your cadence. You want to be able to have different elements, and when you do it, you want to be able to execute at a high level.
Did you get some guys on the roster today that aren't technically listed at tight end, playing some tight end? If so, how did they look out there for you?
Yeah, I had to go watch the film, but yeah, we had a couple guys playing at different spots.
Would the high rep count indicate you were pleased with the tempo you saw today?
It probably just indicates that there weren't as many stops on third down, right? I thought that we had some sustained drives, and that allowed. I wanted to let the series play out, so we had a little bit higher rep count a couple times with the offense moving the ball early.
A couple of new receivers having come in this offseason, Dan. Just how do you see that dynamic kind of working with Bo and working with both, Trayshawn, Tez, particular with the first team offense, just how that's kind of coming together in these scrimmage settings?
Yeah, I mean, I think each day those newcomers are getting better and better. You know, Trayshawn made some great catches today. He's proven to do a good job of attacking the ball and playing strong at the point of attack. And Tez continues to show up. His speed continues to show up. And certainly we've got a dynamic room right now there with what we think we have coming in and with the combination of the guys that are here.
What are some of the situational spots you want the offense working on besides third down maybe, but any other situational spots you've been working on with the offense specifically this week?
Yeah, so like this week we worked some 4-minute, 2-minute scenarios, right? So you got the lead, you want to maintain the lead, you got to get a first down, right? We worked some end-of-game scenarios today where you don't have timeouts, you got to go score a touchdown. So just continue to work through red area, whatever that might be, but we want to give a lot of variety and try to make sure we are able to attack those situations.
After last Saturday, you talked about seeing more consistency from your punters. You're needing to see that. How were they today and special teams as a whole?
Yeah, overall, I thought we punted the ball pretty well today. Got to go back and look, you know, to check that. But they forced some fair catches with great hang time and better ball location.
I'm assuming you've probably opened up your weather app and seen that next week's supposed to be hot and sunny. How beneficial is that for you guys for the spring game with so many recruits in town and maybe more turnout from fans?
It's always hot and sunny here. Just make sure they hear that.
Marcus Harper able to give it a go at all today?
No, he was not. And we're going to be precautionary with Marcus and not put him back out there in the fire.
Last year you had a great turnout for the spring game, and I know we've seen some other spring games that have already happened with not great attendance, but what would you say to the fans, and how much would it mean to you and the team and all the hard work they put in this offseason to see Autzen Stadium full next Saturday?
No, I think that's what makes Oregon great, right? Our fans have phenomenal fan support. I'm certainly counting on our fans being here. Turned out it's a great day, not just for football. There's a lot of events around the day, other sporting events. You know, I don't know, we'll have bounce houses, military appreciation, along with other games that are existing. So the spring game at Oregon is supposed to be different than everybody else on this side of the world. And our fans have always done a great job of that and need them to continue to do that. And Phil Autzen.
Last week you mentioned you wanted to maybe play a game against yourself because of the depth. Do you feel like you figured out the format of next Saturday, what will be true traditional game, you know, team versus team, or kind of different ways that we've seen different ways we've seen spring games?
We're going to try to play a game. We're going to try to play as close as we can to a game. You know, I think it's always the fine line of trying to protect your team and make sure you're being smart and safe, but also create that game environment. And for us, we're going to have a packed stadium. You know, that's the plan. And we want to be able to create that game environment and let guys go compete.
Dante Manning had played quite a bit last season, closed off in the Holiday Bowl with Gonzo out. Just it's a little bit different psychologically when there's guys around you, that high-end competition versus being at the top of the depth chart or on paper. What has he done? How has he approached it any differently, if at all, this spring? Just getting more reps and
Yeah, just that. I mean, everyone gets better with reps. I mean, Dante had a big play today where he's able to take away the ball. So you asked him about who got a takeaway. Dante's one of those guys, but he comes with the right approach every day, has great energy and enthusiasm, and was able to attack it.
Some of the guys haven't played in the Oregon spring game before. Like, what's the chatter been like? What's the excitement level? Like, you heard things of them just talking about how excited they are to play?
No, we're not there yet, right? We still got 2 more practices, Tuesday and Thursday, before we get the spring game. You know, our focus is one day at a time. So today was about today. Maybe if they talk about it in their dorm rooms, but they don't spend a lot of time talking about it around us.
I know you only have 2 practices left before the spring game, but in those 2 practices this week, what is really going to be your focus, maybe on the offensive side and the defensive side, to really showcase the best Oregon football team next Saturday?
Yeah, our approach isn't really about next Saturday. It's going to be about Tuesday first. How can we get better on Tuesday? And you don't get enough of these days, so we want to utilize every one of them, every minute that we have to improve it as a team. Continue to become better tacklers, better blockers, better at catching it, right? Better at knocking the ball down. So better at throwing, timing. There's so many things that you just don't get enough opportunities to do, and spring ball is critical for that.
What do you think of the new clock rules that were just passed, and were you actually using them on the first downs?
Yeah, we've been using them. We've been anticipating the rule change, based on what the feedback we've gotten for a little while now. That being said, I get it. It's probably going to affect the scores of games a little bit. That's something to be conscientious of. But it's not overly different until you truly get down in those 2-minute scenarios. I think teams that are way down, it's going to make it really challenging to get back in a game quick because of all the stop clocks before.
The draft starting on Thursday, obviously it's going to be a big night for Christian. Walk us through just your perspective of even him, maybe even on the recruiting trail of a guy who was playing high school quarterback as a sophomore and hadn't been playing corner that long and could end up being the first corner off the board and a top 10 pick for you. Just how do you encapsulate his journey, although he was only here for a year? You know.
Yeah, sky's the limit for Christian. Whatever team gets Christians, I mean, they're hitting a home run. He's one of the best corners I've ever been around and a better human. I'm excited for every one of our guys that have an opportunity, for this draft. There's going to be a lot of great Ducks that get an opportunity to make NFL teams better, and Christian's certainly an example of that. Humble and hungry, and I'm excited to see where he ends up.
With the amount of turnover at the linebacker position just from last year to this year, how important has it been having a guy like Justin that has a bunch of experience playing big-time football? Yeah, Justin had a great play today. It was great to see. I think we have great competition in that room with Scoob and Bossa and Justin and, Connor. There's just been a lot of guys that have been able to compete there and create great depth. Evan Jackson's had a really great spring. He's always been a fast player. He's playing faster and faster. So that's fun to see from him, but feel really good about having a guy like him here.
Coming off the injury, is he looking like the player he looked like pre-injury?
He did today.
Do you see him at all at Jack, or is he just mainly a Money and Mac guy for you guys?
Yeah, he's playing Money and Mac for us right now, but as he grows in the defense, maybe we'll have some more position versatility for him.
That's Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach, meeting with the media on Saturday after Oregon's second scrimmage, and now the third scrimmage. The spring game, 1 o'clock on Saturday, broadcast on the Oregon Sports Network. Pac-12 Network's got the TV broadcast. Come on out to Autzen Stadium. Supposed to be in the 80s. Really looking forward to it. Duck baseball, huge weekend as well. Make a whole weekend out of it. Have a few beers for the broadcast crew. When we come back, we're going to hear from Demetrius Martin talking a little bit about the cornerback position for the Ducks. And, hey, it's also NFL draft week. Christian Gonzalez might get picked on Thursday. Few other Ducks might get picked on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. This is a great week around University of Oregon athletics. Demetrius Martin when we come back on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Back in the Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack. Duck baseball with a good weekend win against Cal. We're going to talk about that coming up ahead of Gonzaga. Tuesday, Wednesday, Arizona State in town. Also, Duck softball, track and field, tennis, lacrosse. A lot of action this weekend. But the focus is, of course, on Oregon football. It often is. Spring game, 1 o'clock, Saturday. Ian was asking, is the spring game televised? Yes, Pac-12 Network. Jerry and Georgie have the call on the Oregon Sports Network as well. But I am happy to tell you, our buddy Nick Aliotti, I'm told, is on the call for the TV side. which, I mean, if there was ever a time to listen to both Jerry and Jorgie and the TV broadcast, it's when Coach Aliotti is on there. I saw him at practice, and I asked him, I was like, so what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm doing the spring game. Just wanted to get a feel for things. And I thought, okay, that's cool. Coach Aliotti and I go back. When I was a student reporter at KWVA, I did like a 7-minute story at the end of the year where I kept track of all the crazy stuff that Nick Aliotti said, and we put it into a full package. And this was, you guys got to remember, this was the year that Coach Aliotti got fined by the Pac-12 for some choice comments following Oregon's win over Washington State that season. This is really an if you know moment for like Oregon football fans of at least the last decade. And so I talked to him about that. I did an interview with him about this, and every time I see him now, he always tells me, I still have that. You did that. I'm like, yes, I did. And I'm glad that you didn't hate it because, you know, I ended up working for the Oregon Athletic Department, and it would have been bad if he had not liked it when it came out. Yeah, one of my favorite things that I've ever produced, actually. Demetrius Martin, the Oregon cornerbacks coach, big part of the development of Oregon's corners, and I think that's a position of interest heading into the spring game. I'm curious what the rotation's going to look like, especially because, selfishly, I wasn't at the scrimmage on Saturday. I was in Berkeley with the Oregon baseball team, so I couldn't tell you, and I haven't gotten a chance to talk to Jerry and Jorgie yet, so what'd Coach Martin think? Coach Meat, as the Ducks call him.
What's it been like coaching your son on this team?
It's been a good experience. A lot easier than I thought it would be because Coach Lanning, you got Coach Tosh, you got Coach Hampton. Those guys are on his butt for everything, so they get to him before I get to him. I just wait till we get home at night.
Do you have to approach coaching him any differently than the other guys, or be mindful of some of that?
Nah, he's a tough kid. He's been around me all his life, so he understands how I get down and how I coach and how I teach. So he knows when to say when.
What were the things you identified back in the beginning of the offseason, Demetrius, about just pass defense in general and how your group, when Christian was as excellent as he was, to the players who were returning, what were the things you were identifying to areas that you wanted to address starting here in the spring?
Probably anything like everyone else in their secondary. We want to get more takeaways. We want to be more consistent on being 100% tacklers in games and things and such like that. So just getting better with our communications and being more sure of our assignments and techniques and leverages and things like that all help with that stuff. And, you know, second year of the system now, that's, you know, starting to show up now.
What was it about Kyrie Jackson that kind of made him the right fit for you guys to bring in here?
Being that, you know, he's a longer guy. He has a lot of explosion, some good ball skills. And then one of the things is the place that he come from is very similar style of defense. Our defense is, I should probably not free agent friendly. So guys that's been in the system and know the terminology and know some of the fits and adjustments, they usually thrive in it.
You talked about getting more takeaways. How much does Florence talked about playing more nickel? How much does that factor into that? Just getting another cover guy out there and being better in just coverage across the board?
Pretty much it's just obvious. You know, you're getting a guy that's used to being out there on the island covering. Most offenses now try to put some of their better receivers in there in the slot to create mismatches versus safeties and linebackers and things like that. So if you're able to put a cover corner in there that can hold up in the run for somewhat, then, you know, you heighten your chances of getting some more hands on balls.
I feel like he's kind of progressed this spring in that role.
He's doing well. You know, it's still new to him. A lot of the minor nuances within the coverage and stuff like that, but he's doing well. It's coming along. I'm happy at his progress so far.
There's obviously a lot of depth at corner, especially defensive back. What does the competition look like for some of the younger guys vying for an increased role this year?
Well, it's good. I mean, you're not too old, you're not too young. Best man play. So these guys that came in early did themselves a really good service by getting in there early to get this spring ball in, and then it all starts over again for fall camp. So then that's when you can really tell. There's a lot of thinking out there. There's a lot of slow foot. There's a lot of second guessing and things and such like that out there right now where they're not showing their true athleticism yet. You know what I'm saying? So just giving them a chance to learn that kind of stuff and then turn them loose when we get back again.
Where is Dante Manning's game at this year compared to a year ago?
Just trending upwards. He's doing things now that what I'm happy with Dante, he's correcting mistakes before I have to correct him. I don't know how the right way to say that, but he's identifying his mistakes, where last year it had to be pointed out to him. Now this year he knows, hey, I'm like, yeah, eyes, right? Yeah, hands, right? Yeah, so those type of things are where his game is, growing at.
Is that partially a product of him being in this defense for a second year, or is that something he's taken upon himself?
I would say that has some things to do with it, but then just because it's come with his confidence now and things and such like that. So he understands the cause. He knows where he's supposed to be. He's been in it for a whole year, so now he can fine-tune those little fine mistakes that he's making.
Maybe unfair to compare anybody to Christian necessarily immediately, but how confident are you that in the group right now that you have a CB1, that you have a clear half the field guy in the group?
I'll hold that opinion until everybody gets here. Everybody's not here in camp yet, and once they get here, we got guys that still running track in high school and things and such like that. So once they get here, I'll be able to make that assessment. But Gonzo's a pretty tall measuring stick.
And he was a guy who did win it when he enrolled in August, and it's back in Colorado. I'm talking about as a freshman, a screwy season that was in 20. What was he able to show when he first came in that made it possible for him, and what does somebody like him who's coming in later have to show to do the same thing?
Well, there was a funny situation. We needed a CB2. They had a CB1, but we didn't have a CB2, and Gonzo was in the safeties room. So I pleaded with the head coach to give him to me at corner, and then he did, and then it took off from there.
What does he owe to not just yourself and plenty of others, but to those guys in high school, those guys back at, where guys who moved him from offense to defense, the transfer and all that, just how much does he owe to the many people along the way, where next Thursday is going to be a pretty celebrated night for a lot of you?
Well, just the simple fact that they gave him an opportunity and put him in those situations, because those different situations that he was in helped groom him for what he is now. Playing offense, playing different sports, going back and forth, getting cut as a freshman, or playing soft freshman ball, not starting and all that. That all helped who he is now.
You've found some great success recruiting over the past few years. What is it about you, in your own words, that's allowed you to find this success?
I don't know, just kind of just being myself more so than anything, and being a good listener. I think that's a trait that a lot of recruiters might not exercise. They'd rather be the talker than the listener.
When you choose to experiment with moving a guy positionally, how collaborative is that process, and who's involved in
everyone is. Everyone on defense is. Offense alike. I mean, like you got guys that can play offense, defense. Obviously, the offensive coaches have to be involved in that, and on defense, moving guys around, it's have to be a collaborative decision, because everybody's have to work independently to get that guy caught up. So different meeting times, different individuals, different techniques, things and such like that. It all plays big.
Is it ever difficult to let a guy go from your room to maybe to a different spot, or?
Only when they come back and they make a mistake on the field when they wasn't in your meeting on something that you went over. Like, I just went over that today, man. Oh, you wasn't in there. That type of thing. So, yeah.
When you add the number of guys in the offseason that you do, and some who are still on the way, people read into that as that you're trying to overhaul the position a bit and bring in talent acquisition is a big part of it. What is the message you're trying to send to the guys who are returning in your room about urgency, about improvement, about development, that yes, competition is coming and it's increasing, and there's an end goal here?
They know that. They know me. This will go back to the question about recruiting. They know that from the get-go. When I first walk in the door, hey man, I'm here my job depends on me getting guys that are better than you. Your job is those guys that I think they're better than you, show that they're not. Simple.
You get to watch Troy Franklin every day in practice. What has he kind of added to his game? How has he improved over the last year, do you think?
I think his urgency on every rep now. Where maybe last year he may have took a rep or two off and things and such like that, but now, he goes hard every rep. So now his routes look the same as his run blocks. Things and such like that. So little things in his game that he's tweaked that Coach Adams has done a hell of a job, getting him caught up with is nice to see. It's nice to see.
What is the next step for Trequez Bridges? What do you want to see out of him next season?
The ability to make the plays like he did last year. He made some really good plays, but there were a lot of plays that he left out there, and I think that he'd be ready to start and make those plays. Him being cross-trained, playing multiple positions on defense also is going to help him out a lot. So I think he understands where his fits are and know how to get everybody else lined up. So being more of a leader, and I think that's where Traquez is being really strong at right now.
Coach Demetrius Martin meeting with the media on Saturday, getting ready for the 1 o'clock spring game. We've got interviews on Tuesday and Thursday with Duck football heading into Saturday's spring game. Also, Jerry Allen joining us on the show on Friday. We won't make any picks this weekend. Hey, nobody needs to remind anyone how picks went in the fall. We don't need any updates. When we come back, a few student athletes, also a look back at Duck baseball and Duck softball from the weekend. Stick with us. It's Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Back to the Country Financial Studio after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Dear Sharp Turns, Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. Get a grip in the stylish Camry, the elegant Crown, the striking new Prius, or the sharp Corolla. Get to Toyota.com already. Toyota, let's go places.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider is presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We've got baseball Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all at PK Park. Weather looks great. Spring game 1 o'clock coming up on Saturday. After Oregon's second scrimmage of the spring season, Justin Jacobs met with the media. He started his career at Iowa. He redshirted his first year, then played his last 2 years, and he really, I thought, It's too bad. So listen to some of the history for Justin Jacobs. He played in all 14 games as a redshirt freshman at outside linebacker. He started in 8 contests, finished the season 5th on the Iowa team with 53 tackles. Then as a sophomore, you're thinking, all right. I think Hawkeye fans were like, this is a big step forward for him in his sophomore year. Well, he played in 2 games, made 1 start in a season that was shortened by injury. Now here playing for the Ducks. He's from Ohio, a transfer from Iowa, and he figures to be a big contributor for Oregon in an inside linebacker room where the Ducks have guys like Jeff Bossa. The Ducks have guys now like Jamal Hill who have been playing in that position. I'm interested to see what the rotation ends up looking like because we know it's not just going to be the starting 11 at the beginning of the year. Ducks are probably going to play like 17, 18, 19, 20 guys on defense, whether it be by design, partially, sometimes because of injury. Justin Jacobs, though, I think he figures to be a big part of it. He met with the media for the first time on Saturday.
What was it about Oregon that enticed you and wanted to make you want to come out here?
Honestly, it was really my dream school since I was younger. I grew up a huge Oregon fan. I mean, it's a little odd being from Ohio, like a lot of O-State fans out there. So family wasn't too happy about it, but I've always been a big Oregon fan. I always followed them. So once I got the opportunity to come here, especially hopefully this is my last year, so I had to just take the opportunity.
Who were some of your favorite Oregon players growing up watching them?
Marcus Mariota, the Mamba, you know. Really just everybody. I was just big fan, just watching it always.
Whether it was here or anywhere else, just took us into the decision to go in the portal in the first place because Iowa was losing a lot of really good teammates of yours at linebacker, and it seemed like you had opportunity potentially in front of you and a really good defense. And your teammates raved about you at the Combine. So why look to leave in the first place?
I mean, honestly, for me, it was just that I felt like I needed some change. I got hurt in my last year. I had a lot of time to sit down and reflect, talk to my dad and stuff. And I realized, like, for me, for my next year, I really wanted to change. I wanted to change the scenery. I wanted to display my ability in a different way. So I felt like entering the transfer portal was the best decision for me.
What's that change of scenery been like here at Oregon so far?
So far, I've loved it. I love the defense. I love how it gives us opportunities to make plays, run around, really be sideline to sideline, get to the quarterback. It's really a defense where if you're versatile, you can play in so many different positions and put you in so many different positions to succeed. And I feel like I really love that about the defense.
Being an Oregon fan growing up, what's it felt like to get a couple inside of Autzen now, and how exciting is it to get some fans in there next week and experience that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, sometimes I just sit back. I mean, I look at I'm walking around this place, I'm like, dang, like I'm really at Oregon. Like I really started off dreaming of being able to come here, and like now I'm here. So I mean, it's just a great opportunity just coming here to be able to work, and I mean, I just can't take it for granted every day because I'm finally living out my dream. I'm finally a Duck. So I mean, I'm just loving it so far.
Was there anybody on this Oregon staff who had recruited you previously at a high school who you kind of had a built-in connection with before you came here?
No, I really didn't have any connection to the staff before coming here. It's just once I got in the portal, I talked to them, I visited out here. I mean, I love what they have to say. I love them going over the defense, where I fit in, and that really stuck out to me. And then just getting around the guys, learning what they were about, I mean, it was just a no-brainer to me.
What was the complexity of this defense? Was there a learning curve at all, just adjusting to it when you got here?
Oh yeah, first, obviously, just going into a new defense, you got all new terminology. You have to get used to how they call things, what they say, like just basic things in the offense, basic motion, stuff like that. So it's definitely a learning curve at first, but the staff has really did a good job just staying here, giving me extra time, going over the plays. I meet with Cam a lot on the staff. He's really helped me just going through the walkthroughs, going through practice, just so like when I get on the field I can be more comfortable, I can play fast and not really think as much.
In what aspect of your game do you feel like you've really grown since the time you stepped on campus?
I would say just my communication within the defense, just being confident in communication, getting everybody on the same page, and just going out there playing free, like just not thinking about things, just being able to run sideline to sideline. Because like I said before, they really the defense puts you in a position to make plays, and I feel like, I mean, that's what I've been trying to do so far.
You've been more at the money or the max spots so far?
We've really been trying to cross play it, so like we've been playing both. Mm-hmm. Like we really don't have like I would say money or mac per se. I feel like we just kind of bounce off each other. Like I mean, if we're feeling on this play, you want to go play the field, we'll talk it out. And at the end of the day, you got to know both positions. It's not money or mac. You got to know your position, the next position, and really the whole defense.
As part of that change you're talking about, that you're going from a division where there's a lot of 12 and 13 versus your own team in Iowa. There's a lot of 13, 23. We're now here going to be a lot more wide open, ask a lot more of you in pass coverage, those sorts of things. Is that part of what either you're looking for, is desired change, or just that change in general, how that's going to impact you?
Yeah, I honestly think that change works in my favor kind of because, I mean, I'm a versatile backer. I like to play sideline to sideline. I've a lot of speed to my game. So just opening up, playing an open field, I feel like that's where I excel. So I was excited for the opportunity to get out here, get around the speed, get around the open field, and just go out and play.
How were you physically after your injury from last season?
I feel like I'm back 100%. The staff did a great job of getting me in, getting to work first day, getting my arm back right in the weight room, just them working with me, whether it was modifying a certain lift or something like that. I feel like they really got me right, and I feel like I'm 100% playing with no thoughts about it.
Fans may know your play style, your play type, your stats. What should they know about you as a person? What do you want fans to know here?
That I'm gonna come out every day and give it my all. Like I said before, this is my dream. So like I'm not gonna go out there take it for granted. I'm gonna go out and give my all every single play. You know, you're not gonna see me loaf. You're not gonna see me not go get to the ball. I'm gonna go get to the ball every play.
Justin Jacobs, the transfer from Iowa, I think he figures to be a significant part of this defense. Certainly hearing him talk, he wants to be. There's no doubt about that. When we come back, Dante Manning, back to the cornerback position. And if the producer of this show, me, thought about this more, I probably would have had Dante Manning right after Coach Meat, because that's a position coach and a member of that position group. That would have been smart. More cornerback talk when we come back on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. So Dante Manning, a veteran in the cornerback group for the Ducks, and you know that cornerback position, especially now with Christian Gonzalez this week, heard Coach Meat talking about this. Christian Gonzalez is going to be a very, very good pro, I think. And so now replacing him in that cornerback room, nickel, whatever Christian was going to play, because, for example, against Arizona, he did play that nickel position. I think Dante Manning is a real key for Oregon this season. He met with the media on Saturday.
Dante, back in August, you said it was a put-up-or-shut-up season for you and how you were approaching it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like it went, and what's your mentality now?
I feel like last year it was somewhat up to par, but not to my standard. I felt like I left a lot of plays out there that I could have made for my teammates and for this defense. I feel like now I'm developing into that mentality that is put up or shut up. So I'm just ready to get the season cracking.
Seems like a lot of players on the team have expressed that they want to go from being good to great this spring. How would you grade the team's ability and development so far in spring ball up until now to be great?
I would grade it at an A, because we all just look at it as we all have somewhere to improve. Even if we're the best at something, it's always where's your weakness, and let's make it a strength. So you're only strong as your weakest link. So, we just find where we could get better at and attack it.
What are the specific things in your game that you want to improve going into this season?
This season, working on my ball skills, using my length more and more physicality, just for myself, but just being able to use my tools and create a bigger tool bag.
Are there plays from last season, positive or negative, that stick with you, that you serve as kind of a motivational thing for you in the course of an offseason, or things that you look back on and plays that you rewatch to say, like, all right, I did well here's something I want to address? Are there certain ones, the specific ones for you?
Something that kind of just sits in the back of my mind. a lot of the games we played on third down, when we came out in our dime package, I would give up the third down, you know. So just going back and watching those plays and knowing like what not to give up, where's my leverage, what I play, what's my technique, and dialing back into it, kind of just it's like a motivation, if not in practice. So just kind of working towards that.
Hunter, how is your role on this year's defense different at all from last year's?
I wouldn't say it's changed at all. I was somewhat of a leader last year, and it's even more definite that I'm a leader this year. So just taking the young guys and coaching them up and being coached up myself. So, yeah.
Are you I know it seems like a lot of your teammates are playing other spots. Are you all corner right now? Are you moving around?
We play DB.
Okay.
What's it like year 2 in the system? Dan's talked a lot, and Coach Mead's talked a lot about, it starts to click for a lot of people in year 2. Have you seen that happen for yourself and your teammates?
I would say for sure. From year 1 to year 2, it's like, now it's a definite. Like, let's say year 1 was like a trial run. This is like a definite. Like, we know the system, we know the coaches, we know what we're supposed to do, technique. So then it's just adding pieces to it now. Adding pieces to, you feel me, go to that next level. So I feel like we've come together. Our connection is crazier this year, like back of the hand type crazy. So yeah, I'm really excited.
What are the things that in your mind, as you're fighting for a starting job, the things that you're saying like this defines to me, I'm ready to be a starter. This is what I'm looking for. These are the things I want to show myself to feel like I'm ready for this.
The best corners get picks, so I got to get my hand on the football. I just got to have a lot of production. I don't want to ever go through a game and feel like, I was just there just to be there. I got to put some production down. So,
what's it been like watching Coach meet Coach's son and having Cole in that room? You guys poke fun at him a little bit?
Hey, it's actually crazy because like young Cole is like a spitting image of Coach Meat, like the aggression, the anger, the hypeness, like, and it's crazy. Like it's literally his twin in a meeting room. So it's funny at times when they butt heads because it's like, okay, this is the same person talking to himself. Like it's crazy, but yeah, it's crazy in that meeting room. I love it though.
What's it been like so far in spring going up against some of these new receivers, Trayshawn in particular on the outside? Just what have those matchups been like?
You know the saying, diamond, pressure make diamonds. So, we going at it every day. And Trayshawn's a hell of a receiver, Just like I said, we adding those pieces in just to make everything a little, smoother around here. But we have a crazy receiving core. Like we getting better every day, both sides of the ball.
I feel like competition is a big part of spring. How do you feel like the team has kind of responded to that different, like you said, pieces being added in and that new competition?
I say we welcome competition. It's nothing to be scared of, and if you are scared, go to church. Like, this not somewhere where you feel me. We shy away from competition. We love it, and it brings out the best in us. You feel me? So we love it here.
What are your impressions of Jordan Birch been so far?
Big Birch, yeah, Big Birch. He a playmaker, a game wrecker. Can wreck the whole game and just himself. Like. But he's a good guy though. Minus football, he's a good guy.
Do you remind you of anybody kind of stylistically?
Might have to come back to that one.
One of the few areas on the defense last year where you guys struggled a little bit was linebackers and coverage. Have you seen that improve this year?
Most definitely. Our linebacker core is crazy. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. There's some real dogs on that linebacker core. And they're getting better, like we are getting better every day. Meeting separately, meeting together, like just seeing how, picking each other's heads, seeing how we think and see plays, different plays, So this linebacker core is crazy.
What's Tysheen brought to the DB room?
Tysheem's a real go-getter. Like just going back to like literally just playing football. When you see ball, go get ball. His ability to break out the post and recognize plays and things like that, like it's crazy. Like he's just a kid playing football out there. It's crazy.
Is Evan as similar to Bennett in the meeting rooms and those things with you guys as he is when he's talking in just general speech and cadence? Sounds exactly the same.
I'll say, goodness. I'll say Bennett is Evan is basically a little image of Bennett. Like it's literally Bennett sitting with us in Evan's body. Like it's crazy. But all the plays Bennett makes, like everything that Bennett characteristics, it's like literally just rubbed off and passed down to him. So he's real smart, recognizes plays, knows when to use his leverage, knows how to use his leverage. Like, he's a great player.
What do you think are some of the biggest improvements the defensive backs made from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2 today?
Production, going to get ball, no missed tackles, just the basic things, getting our production up, getting picks, getting our hand on the ball, getting around the ball.
Sounded like you had one of those.
Yeah, had a little one.
Who'd you steal from?
What was that, Ty Thompson?
You know any others that had picks today? You know any other guys that had picks today? Can you name them?
Justin had a pick, linebacker, at the line of scrimmage, real tough, crazy. My boy D-Bark, Deuce, corner, he had a pick today in the red zone on a fade ball. So, yeah, just getting production.
A little bit of inside the scrimmage for you there. Justin Jacobs, the guy that we just heard from, an interception, Dante Manning says. Now, spring game. I know, big day, 1 o'clock Saturday. Also Duck baseball this weekend. Gonzaga next, Tuesday, Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and then Arizona State. Here's what happened over the weekend. Ducks got 2 solo shots from Tanner Smith and Colby Shade. Josh Malera's picked up his 7th save of the season, and the Ducks won on Friday in a 5-4 contest against a Cal team that has the reigning Pac-12 Player of the Week on their roster. Ducks did a pretty nice job against Cade Kretschmar this weekend. I felt like it was huge for Josh Malera to get the save after he allowed the first runs of the entire season on his ledger in the loss to Portland on Tuesday. He came in, got the save. Ducks won 5-4 on Friday. Now on Saturday, Ducks fell 8-6. Left 10 runners on base, left the bases loaded twice. That's that sound and phrase. That's how everybody felt after leaving 10 on and 6 of them in 2 innings. Leo Ullman, though, came out of the bullpen for the first time this season. He pitched really well, I thought, in relief. 2+ innings of no-run baseball. He didn't walk anybody. That's been the issue for him. He's been walking guys, particularly in the first inning, so maybe a bullpen role is where Leo Ullman's going to live. Ansoneros made his first career start. He was outstanding. Hit his first career homer, knocked in 3 runs. Ansoneros earned himself a start again on Sunday. And it felt like on Saturday, though, a game that the Ducks could have gotten. Difference makers were a homer in the 7th for Cal that broke a 6-6 tie, and 5 walks that almost all worked against the Ducks early. It felt like the early walks were really pivotal for the Ducks. So it set up a rubber match on Sunday. Ducks got out to an early 4-run lead and a 5-2 lead going into the later innings. Colby Shade, this was maybe the biggest play of the game. He robbed a potential 3-run home run that would have cut it to a 1-run game in the 5th inning. Riku Nishida also robbed a home run on Saturday. Duck outfield play was critical in this game. Matt Dallas came in at 1.2 and got out of a bases-loaded 1-out jam in the 8th to keep the score 5-2. Riku Nishida hit a solo dinger to start a 4-run 9th. Oregon pulled away and ultimately won 9-3. But I want to back up because Josh Malera outstanding on Friday. Josh Malera outstanding really all season long. The one blemish is that game against Portland. I thought it was cool for him to get that save on Friday, and he said pretty much as much postgame.
Some tough situations there, good bounce-back effort today. Just your thoughts on how things went tonight.
Oh, man, it was a really competitive game for us. I mean, they came out, definitely, came out ready to play today. I think they're a little bit better than their record says. They got some players just like every team in the Pac-12. So, I just knew that, whatever happened on Tuesday happened and, just lock in, do my thing again, and, I'll have success.
That's the confidence that you kind of have to have as a closer, right? You almost have to be like a goldfish. You forget about it, you move on to the next pitch, you move on to the next outing. I thought it was huge, though, in the context of the season for Malera to get that save, especially because he did finish it off for the Ducks in the 9th inning on Sunday. Key pitching and defense got the team out of some jams. The offense scored 9 runs. A pretty happy Mark Wasikowski after a series win in Berkeley this weekend.
Guys played hard. Could have easily swept, and they clipped us there on game 2 of the thing. But really just proud of the guys. They rallied today. They limited the free bases, which is one of the points of emphasis. We had contributions throughout. Whether it was Matthew Grabman's start. him handing the ball off to Turner Spiljarek. Those guys did very, very well to get the ball late in the game to where, Anderson handed the ball off. Matt Dallas is coming in with the bases loaded and a one-out situation and getting out of that inning with a 0 was just tremendous. He did a fantastic job. And offensively, just Colby Shade, boy, he looked like a major leaguer today on this field. And it was a lot of fun seeing him and Riku Nishida and these guys. Tanner Smith had a big day, and we were able to capitalize on some things there late in the ball game and just add on. So a lot of fun today to be a Duck, and hopefully we can continue the momentum into the midweek where we've got a tough competitive series versus Gonzaga coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. See you at PK Park. Go Ducks.
Mark Wazakowski, 5 o'clock with a 4:45 pregame show on the Oregon Sports Network and on the Quack Video live stream, and then Arizona State coming to town Friday through Sunday. Arizona State is 13-4 in the conference standings. Stanford behind them at 13-5. Remember, Arizona State had that game get canceled, and it could prove pivotal in the conference standings moving forward. So Arizona State 13-4, and then Oregon and USC are both 11-7, officially 2.5 games back of Arizona State. And that's the opponent for the Ducks this weekend. Now you got to take care of business, though, against Gonzaga, especially if Oregon wants to be hosting a regional. The latest RPI has the Ducks at number 16 today. Arizona State, just in case you were wondering, 31. Big weekend. Big weekend. Question from Matthew. I don't think this is a dumb question. He said that in the text, like probably a dumb question. I don't think it is. He said, been going to the spring games since 2015. I always wonder if the coach wants the fans to get loud when the first team or number one QB is on the field or on 3rd and 4th downs to help prepare the team for hostile environments, as well as help the defense communicate in that environment. Is that something you can ask Coach? I can ask Coach that. I think that's a great question. I've never thought about it. I think Duck fans just get excited when big plays happen, but should we be like yelling "oh" like we do on kickoffs and when the 3rd and 4th downs come around? Yeah. Maybe it should be based on what color you're wearing. If you're wearing yellow, you get loud when green is on offense on 3rd down, and then vice versa. Huh. I'm going to have to do some thinking on this one. When we come back, Oregon softball, a sweep of Arizona, and the rest of the weekend recap after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or overdose if they're not used as directed. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop boxes. You may find these in your community at local pharmacies or police stations. Visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
I like that Matthew is like, can you find out and put it on the socials so that everybody will know? I will do my best. I'll try to ask Coach Lanning that. I think it's a good question that maybe we'll have for his interview. He's going to meet with the media tomorrow, actually, so seems like something that we could definitely ask. I like that. Arizona. This was a huge weekend for Oregon softball, and I want to review it. Oregon's win streak got up to Oregon's win streak got up to a season-high 7 against Arizona on Friday, 8-0. Always nice when you can only play 6 innings and win a softball game. That's great. Morgan Scott threw a 6-inning shutout. Tara McGowan hit her team-high 11th homer. A good day at the yard on Friday. Saturday, the Ducks won 8-3 over Arizona. Beautiful spring day. Over 2,100 fans. 2,100 fans on Saturday at Jane Sanders Stadium. And then on Sunday, Oregon pushed the win streak to 9 games, swept consecutive Pac-12 series for the first time under head coach Melissa Lombardi. It was a 7-4 victory before a little over 1,800 fans at Jane Sanders Stadium. The Ducks now sit at 31-11 and 11-7 in Pac-12 play. And oddly enough, the Ducks on Sunday trailed for the first time in the entire series. They fell behind 4-0 through 3 innings, but rallied to win. They scored the last 7. Took the lead with a 4-run 6 to enter the final 2 weeks of conference play in 4th place in the Pac-12 standings. And again, heading into that Pac-12 softball tournament, it's going to be a little different this year. This is cool as well. Allie Bunker and Tanner Smith, both on the diamond, have been rewriting the career record books. Tanner Smith, we've talked about it a lot for baseball. How about this for Allie Bunker? A great note. When she touched home plate for the 156th time in her career on Ariel Carlson's huge home run in the 4th inning, Allie Bunker became the first and only player ranked in the Oregon career top 5 in hits, doubles, runs, and RBI. Good for you, Allie Bunker. We're maybe going to hear from her on the show tomorrow. We have got football interviews tomorrow as well. And men's tennis, huge congratulations. Senior Day win against number 17 Stanford. Great way to finish the show. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Big day. Getting ready for the spring game.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy